time, so that's going to be at least the next half hour or so. We're in Roanoke, Virginia area. You've got to make sure that you are getting to your tornado safe spot. Basements are best. You have one. A bathroom with no windows is also a really great spot to be as well. Let's show you what the radar looks like here on the right side of your screen. And not only is there a tornado warning that's just been issued, but notice the flash flood warning there. Multiple threats is what we're seeing. This is going to be in effect for Bedford, Virginia, again, until 12:45. And what we can do here is perhaps loop this to show you the direction in which it's traveling. I'm assuming at this point that this thing's racing generally up toward the north, perhaps with a northern and easterly tilt. So right along the I-81 corridor, if you're joining us from this area, it'll be something that we're watching very carefully. Zero on where we could be seeing that rotation. And what we look for, this is when we do a deep dive into the storm. What you're looking at right now on your TV set, again, is the intensity of the rainfall. Notice that it is difficult to see perhaps a car length or two in front of you in Roanoke. Again, temperature at 67 degrees out that way. Let's get you back to the radar real quick. Just south and east of downtown Roanoke, right along State Highway Route 116, this is going to be where we're seeing that rotational couplet. This is moving toward the north. And as it moves toward the north, here's the communities that are going to be impacted. Dundee to Foxfire within the next, say, 5 to 10 minutes or so. Niagara down toward, say, Briarcliff area and Crofton at about 12:30 to 12:35 is when you could potentially see this tornado. Again, you're looking on the left side of your screen is Roanoke itself with our downtown camera there. On the right side is, again, the tornado warning that we're seeing there as well. The other tornado warning that we're tracking is right here toward Lawrenceville, and this is right along the I-85 corridor. This is moving toward the northeast, and just gauging this, right here is where we're seeing that hook echo signature just west of Lawrenceville along State Highway Route 58. This would be that favored zone for seeing that possible tornado, and you can see that being confirmed with both our base radial velocity and our storm relative velocity. This is where you've got to make sure that you are in your tornado safe spot. So Cool Springs up toward Alberta. You can see State Highway Route 1 there to the right. This is moving toward the northeast, again, 30 to 35 miles per hour. This is going to bring it into, say, Concord at about 53 minutes past the top of the hour. So let's say the next half an hour, 20 to 25 minutes or so, over toward Champ just before the top of the hour. This is a pretty strong signature, by the way. As a meteorologist, when you see those two gate-to-gate velocities, the really bright green next to really bright red, along with our shear products here, just showing you where that rotation is strong, that's a pretty good indication that if you were to be standing outside, you'd at the very least see a rotating thunderstorm, perhaps even a funnel cloud. And the moment that a funnel cloud touches the ground, that is then considered a tornado. And as you know, a tornado can be very destructive. And one of the reasons why in Cool Springs at 37 minutes past the top of the hour, we're expecting this to be right on top of you. There is a tremendous amount of rainfall with this as well, so flash flooding is certainly going to be a concern. But again, just looking at that radar signature there, that is something that we have got to watch very carefully. This is not too far away from Richmond, Virginia, by the way. So our friends in Richmond just duly noted there are strong to severe thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes that are racing into your neck of the woods and into the metro area. So, you know, Amy, looking at the time here, it's obviously just after lunchtime. Folks are going to be kind of out and about, maybe having some Veterans Day celebrations in Richmond, Virginia. It's all clear right now, but boy, look what's on the way up and down the 85 and close to the 95 corridor as well. So again, get to your tornado safe spots if you have that tornado warning on your phone that's alerting you. Amy?
Meanwhile, I've got a severe storm threat also in the south. This just in to Fox Weather from Salado, Texas. Quarter-size hail. Look at those stones. Those could do some damage on a car. Yes, the storm's coming through Texas can produce hail. Look almost like snow here across the back lawn. These pictures coming into us from Twitter. Thank you, Amber's, for sending these in, allowing us to get an eyewitness of what's going on as these storms come through. Also, unrelated to the weather, we've got a ground stop in Dallas-Fort Worth Airport because of a fuel system fire. They had to shut off a fuel pump, put out the fire. They've got safety checks underway right now, but the aircrafts are waiting to get refueled there. And looking right now live at Dallas-Fort Worth, you can see some of the aircraft here out on the runway, which is actually wet. Showers overhead. The more severe weather is off to the south and to the east. Let me catch you up on the radar, what we've got going on. These are the storm reports that have come in. 2-inch size hail cracking the windshield of a car. 50-mile-an-hour winds estimated. This was in Little River. This is one storm report coming into us from what these storms are capable of, but you could see several indications here of reports coming in where we had hail greater than an inch in size. And the Helena stones were very circular. So that comes down with a great deal of velocity as well. Dallas-Fort Worth at 48 degrees. It's just plain rain at this point because the stronger storms are off to the south. They've had 8 cancellations, and this ground stop again is because of a non-weather related issue to do with a fire that they had outside the airport. It was actually out on the runway to do with some fuel problems. FlightAware.com giving us some of our flight information intelligence and showing us the problems that are starting to be residual from Dallas to Seattle, any point west, probably because the fire was on the approach that allows them to head westward. We still do have some of these Minneapolis, Boston. They're probably getting a couple of these runways ready to go, either coming inbound or outbound, but a complete ground stop in the short term. They're hoping to get things back up and running. This is the severe storm threat. Even though the ground stop doesn't have a lot to do with weather, it still could slow you down here because severe weather is going to be coming through. Look at the line of storms, especially coming out of San Antonio, setting up between Victoria and Corpus Christi through the evening hours, right along the Gulf front, also over Houston. We get some real intense thunderstorms coming through. This is really during the commute hour, so Midtown Houston can really be trouble when you get severe thunderstorms coming through. Watch out for your evening commute on a Friday night. What a headache. We've got from Alexandria, central Louisiana, all the way down to the Gulf Coast line through the pre-dawn hours tomorrow, so overnight storms could be strong. And this is the area that could see flooding. Too much rain too quick, dropping 1 inches, 2 inches of rainfall with these storms. That's where we get into trouble. It's a front coming through. Once it clears the coastline, that happens after midnight tonight. Behind it, some cooler air. Dallas goes down to 34 with clear skies. That's pretty impressive overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. So pay attention. Severe weather coming in. You want to make sure your Fox Weather Notes are turned on. That way you'll get an evasive alert and you know what is happening next. Let's go to Roanoke, a live vantage point there where we have a current tornado warning. And we are watching what's happening in the skies, which visibility is basically at zero, which brings me to the point of beware for rain-wrapped tornadoes. What that means is you can't see them very well. It's important to have an invasive alert system that tells you get to your safe spot right away. Well, temperatures are in the upper 60s there right now. They've got plenty of moisture, the leftovers of Nicole feeding up across the east, and the instability for some dry air moving in. All of this approaching, by the way, these cells moving northward, approaching the Richmond area. We've got a lot of interstates here and, of course, a metro area waiting to receive this particular band of storms. So, wow, we've got alerts here for a couple of different storms right now across the region. Let's go ahead and hit that one first. I'll let you take it. Fox Weather Command is going to bring us in to some of these storms, and we're going to look at the data that's coming out of their local radars. This gives us the most specific information, not only geographically where the storm is happening, but also looking vertically in the atmosphere as what the storm could be capable for. Is it producing the twisting winds? Is it producing severe winds right down to the ground? Here it is. Warren County, North Carolina, tornado warning until 1 o'clock Eastern time. A couple different samples here of the energy going toward and away from the radar. That is the wind represented. And when you got two wind bodies going up against each other, that's how we can start to see a twist in the clouds or a rotating thunderstorm. That storm is moving about 20 to 30 miles per hour just directly off to the north. Let's get into the next storm. This one in Brunswick County, Virginia, until 12:45 p.m. Eastern time. There's another look at some of that shear looks a little more well-defined here. The reds and the greens right up against each other, indicating north of Lawrenceville, we could have a rotating thunderstorm. Yeah, weak to moderate rotation indicated by the radar. And so you want to take cover with the storm like this. That's why they issued the tornado warning, to let you know it's serious enough to do some damage. Taking down trees, power lines, could do damage to homes as well. So you've got to be alert. This is Route 1 that takes you from Lawrenceville up north towards Roanoke. Let's get into the last storm here. There is a look at this one outside of Blacksburg in Roanoke area. It's along 81. This is this Franklin County? I believe this is Franklin County, Virginia. They also have had drenching thunderstorms that have triggered